What I have here is a 2007 Crown Victoria. The display on the odometer here, where the trip reset, your odometer does not work. Sometimes it fades out. If you smack it, it'll come back on and last for a little bit, and then it'll kind of die out again. So what I've done here is I've removed this trim here, and a piece big bezel right here that holds your radio stereo inside. So I've already removed all that. What I need to get this whole speedometer out of here so I can show you guys the fix to get the odometer to work back again. What we need to do here is remove this whole thing out of here. First thing I want to do is take a screwdriver and remove this front face. I've actually already got the clips out. There's tabs for it up top here. Looks like there's 2 of them up top, and there's actually 3 of them at the bottom. The reason we need to get the front face off is so we can remove that gear selector indicator right in there. So like I said, I've already kind of pulled the tabs out at the bottom and the top so I can get this whole front piece off of here. And again, that's just the front glass piece. We can actually remove this whole indicator out of here. That's your gear. It's just 2 tabs on the side, and that whole thing will actually pull out of there. There we are. Let's get the electrical connector off of here. And that whole thing just moves this way, and the whole thing will actually come out of there. And this is the piece we're going to need to fix that display here. Off the vehicle, there's a front bezel. One thing I didn't tell you, there was 4 screws I was actually holding on to it in the dash itself. And I had actually removed those earlier to get the whole thing out. First thing you want to do is kind of flip it over, and you got to get the shield off of here, this plastic shield. And I have a pick we can use. You can actually just use a screwdriver just to get this off. So what you want to do is kind of pry up on it where the tabs are, and the whole thing will actually just kind of pop out of there. And we got this off. Another thing we need to do is we need to get this whole circuit board out of this housing here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. They all need to pop off. All you really need to do, I got my little helper here helping me. So what we got to do is just kind of pull these off. Usually if you just 2 fingers, and it'll just come off just like that. And one good thing I like to do is take a picture of it right before you remove the needle, so they kind of go back in the same spot. You can actually put it all of them at the down position, take a picture of it, and then just put them back in the same spot. That's just an easy way. So we're going to go ahead and pull them all off just like that. There you go. He's got one of them. And sometimes they can get kind of tight, but that's all you need. You don't really need any special tools to pull them off. It just kind of pushes onto the needle, and that's it. So we're done with the front face. So once we flip it, it's same thing what we did with that plastic shield. This circuit board's gonna have to come off, and it's just these tabs holding it, like one here, one there, the center one here, and on the sides. So you could just start prying at one of them and just do them one at a time and kind of pull it off. I have these little picks here. They kind of come in handy to pick through if you need to. Here we are. The whole thing just kind of pops out of there. And this is the back of the circuit board. And here's the front. So the issue we have is this display right here not working. What I've figured out is if you just turn it sideways and kind of look inside, right underneath that display, there's actually 2 resistors. If you look under the display here, there's actually 2 resistors right there. They're surface mount resistors, so they don't actually come out to the other side. And what I have noticed is they tend to kind of break connection on the ends here. And that's what kind of causes the display to go in and out, and that's why when you actually smack the display when in the car, and it'll actually work and then not work. So what we're going to do is take our soldering iron and redo the connections here, solder them back up, and that should make it come back to life. Little better picture of them resistors under the display. It's these 2 little resistors. This one here and there's one next to it. So there's two of them here. And like I said, they lose connections on the end. So if you take your soldering iron and just heat up the ends on it, that should make a better connection to where they work. And you want to put your soldering iron here and here, and then same thing to the one in the back. And that kind of gets them to where the connection is good. And that's all you need. You really don't need to put any more solder on it. There's just no room. It's kind of a delicate operation. So if you just take your small soldering iron and put it on the end there, and that kind of just melts the solder and reconnects it back on both ends. And you want to do the same thing to the one in the back. And that'll usually get it to where it makes a good connection. And that's all you need. Let me go ahead and plug it back in. There we are. Click it in. And let's turn the key on. And there we are. Looks like the display is back on. Got the plastic back on. Now we can actually flip it over and we can put the needles back in. All put together. I painted the center, the bezel piece white, just to give it a custom look. I think it looks kind of cool. Now we're actually ready to put it in the car. The odometer is back in the car. The display works, resets. Looks like we're in good shape. So hopefully this helps you out. All right, thank you.